Welcome to the Breakfast Leadership Show, where we interview global thought leaders on business, leadership, and life. Here's your host, keynote speaker, best-selling author, and chief burnout officer of the Breakfast Leadership Network, Michael Levitt.
Welcome back. I've got Noah Asher on the line. Noah, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. I know in the pre-show I made a comment about the Dodgers cap and how I think they're going to do really good this year. And of course, me spending time down in San Diego, we had our short window. I don't think it's going to be a great year for the Padres, but I could be wrong. But I think they're retooling. You know, they went for it and didn't quite make it, and they'll have to make some adjustments. But the Dodgers, much like leadership in life, it's all about adjustments and tweaking things. So
yes.
For those that don't know who you are, why don't you share a little bit about you, and then we're going to jump into this conversation.
Yeah, so my name's Noah Asher, and I'm officially, after this past weekend, I just won an award, so I'm officially an award-winning author. And then also I own my own business where I do consulting for small businesses, and we actually just launched a new part of that where we are consulting for authors to help authors market and promote their material.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, there's so many great authors out there, and they're brilliant. They're great writers. Their content is amazing, but their marketing and promotion skills are not as good as they could be. Yeah, I'm originally an accountant. I made fun of marketing people, which was a huge mistake that I've learned over the years. But back in my accounting days, like, you guys just spend money. It's like I looked at you guys as a cost, and no, it's an investment. It pays big dividends if you do it right. So what got you into that business? Especially, obviously, congratulations on being an award-winning author. That's awesome. But what got you into or wanting to launch the marketing help for other authors? What motivated you on that?
Because when I launched my book, I have a great team around me, and we started working on promotions for it, and we were just spending money. We were just draining money just to get it in people's hands and to let people know about it. And then we realized, no, there's an art to this. There's a science to it. So we pulled back and we started being very specific and purposeful, like on who we marketed with and how we did that. And we went for it, and it's been such a success. And we realized we wanted to help other authors. I say it this way, is that I want to help build the platform for you so you can stand on it and share your message. So we want to do the heavy work for you. So that's really the ultimate goal for that part of our new consulting phase is just really to help them, but also guide them and coach them to prepare them for interviews, prepare them for conversations about their book, what to pull out of their book that really highlights for the readers of what their material is about.
It's important work too, because much like people that have written books or they have kids or whatever, they're very proud of what they've done, and sometimes it can be difficult for them to pick a particular section of a book or a chapter that it will really resonate with the audience that they're trying to attract. And sometimes they think, no, it should be this, but sometimes you get in your own way, and it's best to step back and go, no, actually it's going to be this that will make the biggest difference. And trusting the people, like your team, to share and say, no, this is the one that we think is going to resonate. You never know for sure until you try it, but you set the ingredients there for it to be successful. And if it is, great. If not, then you adjust accordingly, and you say, okay, well, let's focus on this angle, because if you can promote something that's absolutely amazing, but if it's at the wrong time or the wrong audience, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and sometimes authors, because that's like their other child, it's their other something that they've birthed, and it's such an exciting moment for them. Sometimes, they're biased about, oh, I love every chapter. And I'm like, no, you can be real. Like, you have 3 kids, you love one of them more. No, I'm just kidding. But same sort of thing though with your book. Like, you have a favorite chapter. Let's dig in. But sometimes their favorite chapter is just favorite to them because it means something to them. So like, we read the books, like we read them ourselves, and we dig in to go, okay, no, I know you're saying chapter 14, but it's really chapter 7 that's the game changer. And we dig into that for them and help them. And again, it's all about coaching and making it an exciting moment, because I realized when I launched the book, I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. This is exciting. I'll sit back and relax and enjoy it all. And it's like, no, 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 no. Now the real work begins. And it was heavy and it was hard at first and it was frustrating. And I want to bring back the fun of the book launch for people.
It's an exciting event, when you birth it and you release it. Just from my own personal experience, don't release your book the same day that Hillary Clinton releases hers. It's a little hard to market because everybody's got the attention on that. But that I didn't know that, and it wouldn't have changed anything anyway. But for me, I think it was a component of the overall what I want to do with it. Because authors will say, okay, well, I released a book. Okay, great. Well, what do you want to do with it? I released
Yeah.
a book. Do you want to do something with it? Do you want to launch a business? Do you want to consult? Do you want to be a keynote speaker? Do you want to write more books? Do you want to write articles? Most people don't want to just stop at releasing a book. They want
Yeah.
other things. I mean, some people don't. Nope, I was a bucket list thing. I did it. I'm moving on. Oh, okay, great. And
Right.
that's fine, but that's not usually the case. So, helping and working with a team like yours is really important, because you can help them kind of map out some ideas based on, their current skills and gifts and desires and what they want to do. Because again, and this goes back to Entrepreneur 101, because we talked about, Author 101 in the pre-show, but Entrepreneur 101 is, you're not going to be able to do everything. You're going to have a team around you, whether that's an internal team or an external team. You're going to want to have some people that are better than you at certain things. And sometimes the ego gets in the way and says, well, I'm awesome at everything. Sure you are,
Yeah.
but no, you're not. There's things that people are absolutely amazing at, and other things that they think they are, but they're not really. So it's, telling the ego, have a seat and just go with wiser choices and decisions. And I think it helps kind of flush things out. And it also, gives you some ideas of, I didn't think of that. Maybe I should try that. Or I didn't know I would like doing this. And it could completely change the direction of what they want to do. Even they could leave whatever they were doing, as far as vocation or a job, and go full time into something. And they're like, yeah, it was all because I decided to write a book. And
Right.
it's fun to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what this book has done for me. Even the whole point of the book is that the category I would say is really like Christian nonfiction, self-help sort of book. And we wanted to just help people find purpose in their pain. That's the elevator speech of it all. Help find purpose in their pain and in their past. And then we realized there's a lot more we can do with this, because what we've had, the feedback of going, oh, wow, this is great. This helped me with overcoming this or overcoming that. And that is what we realized about this word of chaos, is that in that word chaos, which is the book title for people listening, is that it's such a good interchangeable word for people. For some, when they go, oh, my life is in chaos, it's because of rejection or the loss of a loved one or illness or job loss or bankruptcy. The list is endless for people. And because that list is endless, it helps people go, I can relate, I can relate, I can relate. And then as you're reading it, you go, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one experiencing chaos. And it helps make the battle a little easier when there's other people that are fighting the same fight.
Oh, sure. And it's a reminder, because when you're going through challenging times, it does feel like you're the only individual on this island. You don't even have Wilson, the soccer ball, with you. But you do. You've got a lot of people that are going through similar situations. Don't get too much involved in the art of comparison. It's more of okay, this is the situation that I'm facing right now. One, what do I need to learn from it? Are there some opportunities for me to learn from this? Is it something that I have done, or behavior or thoughts or beliefs, or who knows? Ego, as we talked about before, maybe there's something there that's causing me to find myself in these chaotic situations again and again. Okay, what could I do differently? And often it's a mindset shift. It's not even
Yes.
something physical. It's just, looking at something from a different viewpoint or perspective, uh,
Right.
stepping
That
back.
Yeah,
But
and that was for me. It was when I changed my mindset of going, sitting in the corner, curled up in a ball, going, "Why me? Why me? Why me?" And start saying, "Okay, God, use me, use me, use me." And that mindset shift had to be everything for me. And I think for a lot of people, it's getting out of the what I call Eeyore syndrome, where we think the cloud, let's see the cloud above me right here. There's always a cloud over me. Woe is me. We have to get out of that and go, okay, you know what? I'm going to take what has been done against me, or even if it is your fault, realize though that I'm going to take this chaos, I'm going to take what is overwhelming, and I'm going to overcome, and I'm going to find purpose in the pain. And then I believe after you find that purpose in your pain, it will then instill a platform for you to stand upon, to build and help others in that situation. And that is what we're doing with the chaos movement now, is our organization that's working on this. Is we're now inside prisons and addiction centers and rehab centers across America, helping people overcome their overwhelming situation, but also all proceeds for this book provide copies inside prison libraries and rehab centers. And this is crucial because a lot of times when you're at your lowest point, you'll grab a hold of anything to get up out of your pit. That's just reality. And so we want to give them things to place their hands on, to grab hold of, to climb. And that's this book, that's resources, that's going inside these places and just giving a message of hope.
it's a beautiful message, and whenever I think about challenging times and overcoming them, by God's grace, or I should say, not or, but also the strength within to overcome challenges. I look at it as, standing where I am today, I can glance back. I don't look back too often, but I can glance back and I can, the challenges and the experiences and all of that. And all those things were shaped into steps.
Right.
And I'm at this level now because of all those things. Now, sure, there's a lot of things I wish I didn't go through, but I look at it, again, this is a mindset of mine, that those steps were necessary for me to be
Yeah.
where I am now. And I like where I am now, but I don't want to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
There's things I want to do and grow and help others. And, if I see issues that people are struggling with, is there a way, or my skills or gifts or knowledge or information that I can share that can help somebody? That's, one of the reasons why this show exists, is just to help people in a variety of different walks of life, on whether it's business sense or how to ground yourself, not grounded like you were sent to your room by your parents grounded, but to, ground them, just to, okay, let's take a pause and take a deep breath here, and kind of recognize where things are, take stock of where you are, and do it as best you can in a non-judgmental way, because we love beating ourselves up.
Yeah.
That's not going to solve anything. That's going to make things worse. Just,
Yeah.
approach it. Like I said, when I went through, my burnout experience years ago and recovered from it and then revisited it, I wasn't burned out. I went back and looked at that time for lessons, opportunities, and whatnot. I just approached it with the childlike curiosity instead of the, boy, I was an idiot to do this. Why was I doing that? That was really stupid. No, I literally looked at it like a little 3-year-old asking, questions all day and night. Okay, what about this? What's this? Why do you do this? You hear it all the time. And I remember when my kids were that age, they did it. I'm sure I did too. But at the end of the day, it's looking at those things, and, and looking at it with curiosity can give you some insights to a variety of different things if you keep
Yeah.
your eyes and heart open for it.
Right. I love football, and, I think about college football specifically, but when you look back on Monday and you look back at the tape from Saturday, you're going to find things that, oh, hey, let's celebrate, that went well. But you're also going to talk about, okay, why did we fumble the ball? Why are we missing these passes? Why did the line break? It's watching those tapes to go, okay, how do we not do that again? Right? Or if something went well, how do we do that again? And that's the ultimate reason to look back on, yeah, those moments, not to sit and sulk, but to learn and to grow from those things. Yeah.
So we've talked about this before. What's the favorite chapter of your book? I always ask authors
Ooh,
that.
here we go.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a favorite; they're all good. No, are you
Yeah.
going back to the kids thing? You don't have a favorite per se, but you love them differently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's still love. You cherish them and all that, but there's certain things you love about one child versus another child. But you love your kids, or at least I hope you do. And
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
well, then there's other challenges. But that's what therapists are for. But at the end of the day, what was one of those chapters that it could have been you loved just writing the chapter, or upon reflection, it was like, okay, this one really hits different than others.
Yeah. I would say my favorite chapter is one called The Grace Filter. And I talk about how important or how I wish in life there was a filter on Instagram of grace where we could see what we want to be, see, what we could be, but also see through the lens of God and see that we are more than our chaos. I think a lot of times when we're in our chaos, we feel we have an identity crisis. And we go through this where we lose who we are and we lose a lot of things about ourselves. And it's this book, and the whole purpose of this chapter, The Grace Filter, is to lean in and go, you know what? It's like Simba from The Lion King, where he runs away from his family and his friends because he thought he was a murderer and a failure. And so he goes away and he sees his father up in the sky, and Mufasa goes, "Hey, Simba, remember who you are." And I think that's so important to have that moment when you're overcoming your overwhelming, is to stop and remember who you are. No matter what sort of loss you've taken on, whether it's the loss of a loved one or, I lost my dad not that long ago. And for a while there, I was like fatherless, I don't have a father anymore. But then it was like remembering who I am and whose I am. As a Christian, I go, well, I have a heavenly father. So there's that. So it's leaning in. It's all about perspective. It's seeing yourself through the lens of grace. And so that's why I love that chapter more than the other ones, just because I think it resonates with people the most.
I think if this world practiced more grace, we'd have a whole lot less strife on this planet. And it's the only thing we can do is we walk that walk ourselves, and people get attracted to it, and they go, there's something different about you. What is it? And then you can, share the message and just kind of share your perspective of your approach to life. And if they mimic some of that, wow, it just, we'll find ourselves a lot less bickering, a little bit more collaboration, and looking for opportunities to make life better for all of us. So I've loved this conversation. Where can people find out more about you, your book, and this amazing work you're doing?
Yes. So the book is called Chaos: Overcoming the Overwhelming. All the links of where you can buy it: Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, etc. All of that's on the website. It's thenoahasher.com. So THENOAHASHER. So thenoahasher.com will lead you to the website. You'll see this podcast on there. You'll see other interviews I've done, as well as links of where to buy it, as well as my socials and all of that.
So I'll definitely have that in the show notes. So Noah, congratulations again on the book, and we'll be sharing this all across our network. And thank you again for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Breakfast Leadership Show, part of the Breakfast Leadership Network. Visit breakfastleadership.com for tips on empowering your business and your life.